Thank you, Mr. Chair, Committee. I'm Representative Scott Sharp from the 100 District, and to my right I have the State Treasurer and her counsel. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Good morning. The State Treasurer Allison Ball, and I have my counsel Brittany Warford with me this morning.
Good morning, General Counsel for Treasurer Ball, Brittany Warford.
All right, thank you. This bill, House Bill 236, basically has two elements to it. It's ESG and proxy voting. Now, yes, sir.
Motion on sub.
Okay. You members, we got that to you yesterday afternoon, I think. So we have a motion on to adopt the committee sub. Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, the committee sub is adopted. Now proceed.
Thank you, sir. This bill has two elements, ESG and proxy voting. ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance investing. And a lot of these big investing companies that manage large amounts of money are using this to invest in. And when you think about ESG, think socialism, because that's what it basically comes down to. This started out over the interim where I read an article on ESG in the investing, and it was not based on fiduciary returns for pension funds, and that was a lot of people are having issues with that. So the pension funds that the state manages and responsible for, we've got to make sure they get a fiduciary return, like the teacher's pension, for example. We need to make sure we maximize the returns on that as much as possible. ESG does not base their investing on what's going to give us a fiduciary return. They base it on these environmental, social, and government status of whatever company they want to invest in. That's kind of how it got started. I started looking at it, and it led me to the AG's office. I started talking with the AG's office, who I believe I got Mr. Maddox sitting back here with us also today. And that led me over to the Treasury office, so they were already working on something, and so we just all kind of got together. The second part of this is proxy voting, which also goes along with ESG, where they can't take the proxy votes for the people in our pension funds and use those proxy votes to vote for ESG type of investing and stuff of that nature. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Treasurer Ball.
You've already heard a good summary of what ESG is, but I'll just give you a little more in-depth because it's been an issue that I've been dealing with for the whole time that I've been in office, but it's been a heated issue for the last year and a half to 2 years. And you've heard ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance, and that's correct. The best way, I think, to understand this is once upon a time, pensions and investments were about returns, just making sure that when you retired, you could retire, you had funds when you retired, you're getting good returns out of your investments. And in the last few years, there's been a move afoot to really change the strategy to push certain outcomes, usually social outcomes, ideological outcomes. It's been very heavy on the E side, so the environmental side, which has been targeting the fossil fuel industry. That's why Kentucky, I know many of you remember the bill that was passed last year that dealt with this issue. So this is a serious issue. We've been dealing with this in a nuts and bolts way for a few years, or for a year and a half. And it's come to our attention that we think that it needs to be addressed in statute just to make sure once and for all we're looking at returns. This is all about getting good returns. It's not about pushing certain ideologies or social outcomes. It's just about fiduciary financial returns. I'm happy to answer any questions on this, but I think this is it is a simple and clear way to address the issue, and it is needed because we are getting some indications from some of the pension systems, particularly the county system, that they do want to pursue some ESG investments.
Okay. Thank you.